Good.
Mhm.
All right. So today, basically, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking a lot, but we're going to take you through, the user experience through PropFuel, and then I'm going to take you into the back end and show you briefly just the different parts of the campaign, and then we're actually going to run this together. So, have you guys logged into your accounts yet? Okay.
I
Naya,
have.
were you able to? You have not. If you want to take a second as I'm kind of going through this and just log in, then we can kind of go in and just start building that campaign. But let me share my screen here. Okay, can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you send out a check-in, it's basically an email going to your member. And he showed a couple examples in that beginning there, but basically this is what the person is going to see in their email address. So your membership has lapsed. We understand if you've been busy, you missed the renewal, there's still time. Are you interested in rejoining? And then each one of these answer options has its own journey. So depending on, if they say yes, if they say possibly, if they say no, they all have their different journey so that it really becomes that more personalized experience for them. So I'm going to just take you through here. So if they say yes, whoop, I didn't turn them on yet. One second. So if that happens, that means your workflows are not turned on. Lesson learned. Let's see, I'm going to turn this on for you. Hey, Brittany, how you doing?
Hi, just checking in.
No worries. Yeah, we're just about to go through and check it out. Okay, so if they're interested in joining, let's say yes. And then it tells them, that's wonderful news. Rejoining is easy. It gives you the link for them to actually access that right away. Good always to just kind of throw some more information about your benefits, just to kind of reiterate why it's important for them to join, and then something to reach out to as well. And then,
I have a
yep,
question.
sure.
Is that page that you were just on? That's a prop fuel page.
Yep. So this is, and we'll see that in the back end here, but move this around a little bit. So that's what we call a text on a landing page. It's basically a web page just for that answer.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different options that we'll go through, but this is what would be the text on the landing page, so you can provide that information there.
Okay.
And then possibly similar, usually with the yeses and the maybes, they're usually similar information in terms of providing information about your benefits and things like that. But we also want to let them know we understand how important it is and that you invest in this membership. And we understand it's a maybe at this point, but we want to encourage you to rejoin. So we include that rejoin and then also the connection at the end. And then this is where it gets a little different. So, are you interested in rejoining? We'd like to do these three answers like yes, possibly no, because again, mimicking that human interaction, someone may say yes, someone may say possibly, and someone might say no. So at this time, no, not at this time. This takes them down. We don't want to just leave them because if they say no, we want to understand why. We want to see if there's something we can do to bring them back, like he had mentioned with the retirement membership. If that's something you offer, maybe the member didn't know about it, and it can give that last chance to get them back. So why is your membership not a good fit? I wasn't seeing value. And again, each one of these different answer options has its own workflow based on what that is. We'll do a couple more just to check that out. Congratulations on your retirement. This is where you could put in if you have some sort of retirement. And then at this, let's see, no, not at this time. If it's still not one of these answers, this is where we provide them with an open box where they can actually communicate to you. And then there's the option, and I'll show you in the back end here, where when someone replies this, you probably want to bubble them up and send yourself an alert so that you can follow up with them and see if there's anything you can do. All right, so that's kind of the process of what people see once they get those emails. And then this is what you're going to see when you build these campaigns. So when you come in here, you're going to be you make a campaign. I pulled this one already just to show you. But here we have the date of when you're going to send it. You can do it at any time. We have a history tab, which is where all your information, once the email goes out, is going to live in terms of who answered, how did they answer, what was the engagement like, just lots of different areas here. This is where your contacts are going to be. And then this is where your settings are. And we'll go through these in more detail as well. But where you're going to live mostly when you're building this is in this design tab. And you can kind of think of it, there's three parts of each check-in. And when I say check-in, that means that email going. So in this check-in, the first part is, are you interested in rejoining? And if you click on that little arrow, you have different options here that you can choose. You can adjust them as you need, as you see fit for your organization. If the tone is different, you want to update it there, that's where you do it here. Now this little arrow with the little number button, when this is the question workflow. So this is the action based on how they answer. This is the action that's going to happen. So if the question answered was yes, we're going to show them text on a landing page, similar to what we saw over there. But we're also going to send them an email in case, say they're in the line at the grocery store and they click yes, but then, they have to check out and they forget. It'll be all that information will be in their email for them. Next thing is here, possibly, again, show text on a landing page, similar to what we saw. And then it's going to add a tag to this contact to rejoining. And what this can do is you can create a list at a later time to maybe nurture those people who say possibly to try to get them to take an action. And with that tag, you can create a list to easily bring them into a new campaign. And then the selection, not at this time. At the end of this, there's a little, square with that little button. That means that this is going to redirect them to another question. And this other question is that you're saying, no, you don't want to rejoin. Can you tell us why it's not a good fit? And then again, similar to the other one, is all these different answer options, depending on how they answer. Each one has its own workflow down here to tell them how that goes. And then the last part so we have the first part, the question, the second part, the action workflows. The third part is the templates. So this is the look and feel of those landing pages or those emails. So specifically for this one, this email one. So this is the back end, and you can see you can click and make changes to different things. You can add different logos. If you have, your regular membership logo, but you have a convention coming up, maybe you put a convention one together. Lots of different options here. And then on this side, you have just the template name, you have the from name, the reply to email if someone responds, and then you have the subject line. And in here, what's kind of cool is this little magic wand here is an AI generator. So if you click on that, it'll just update, it'll kind of give you different options for that. And this is scattered throughout the program as well. Any questions? No? Okay. So let's go ahead and pull the campaign. So this is where we'll kind of start working together here. And on this left-hand side, I created a little task list just to kind of keep us intact of where we're going so we can keep track of where we are. But please, again, feel free to reach out or, open up your mic and let me know if you have any questions and we can kind of keep going. So Naya, are you logged in now?
I am not. I'm not sure where to log in, to be honest. Where am I going?
Okay. Did you get an email by any chance?
From today?
When you registered for the event?
Oh, probably.
Okay, no worries.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Let me, I'm gonna just.
It came from Robson. So it's robson@propfuel.com if that helps you try to look for that email.
Let me take a look.
I'm gonna see if I can just re-add you here quickly. It's not coming up here. Let me get Robson to
I did get it, but I haven't done it. So do I need to do that
yeah,
now?
let's go through it now so that we can all kind of work together. And then Taylor, just in preparation, so we're going to be starting on this campaigns tab. So if you want to scroll there.
Okay.
Okay, so now that you're in here, you're probably on this insights page.
I am.
And, okay, once you start running some campaigns, obviously there's going to be a lot more information. This is going to be all the insights from all the campaigns. But go ahead and click down to campaigns. And then we're going to click on create campaign, that blue button. And then this
Okay.
is going to load the different the blueprints which we have, and then where you can actually create a campaign from scratch as well. And just a little overview. So our blueprints that we have are they're basically an outline of all the different kinds of campaigns we have, like renewals, conventions, lapse members, all that different stuff that's already pre-built. So you'll see we'll just input a few pieces of information, and then it's going to build it for you so that it turns you into this editor rather than a creator from scratch. And I think are you guys having a little trouble loading that page as well?
I got there pretty easy.
Yeah, okay. Okay, here we are. So on this left-hand side, this is where we're going to create a blueprint. And again, like I said, there's tons of different ones in here, and we're constantly adding more as we go through. For events, for fundraising, for acquisition, we have onboarding profile, different satisfaction surveys, students, and the list goes on. What we want to do is click on the renewal and then click on the lapse win back campaign workshop blueprint. And then this is where you're going to just start entering the information that's going to auto-populate into this campaign. So the campaign name, this is going to be just to you guys. Oh, Naya, you have a question?
No?
Okay. So this campaign name is just going to be for you. This isn't the member is not going to see this. So you can name it, Labs Member Winback, maybe 2024, or whatever works for you. The next one is the sender's name. So we suggest putting an actual person's name, like maybe the membership person, or you can put organization, but it's good to have a sender's name so that it's a little bit more personalized. So if you have someone there that you want to put in for that, and then you can always, if you want to add it, their company after that, just so it's this is basically going to populate a lot of the signatures. And then the job title. And then this reply to email. So this is what's going to be, we have different actions that people are going to take, but sometimes they'll get this email and they don't want to click on anything, and maybe they just reply right away. This is where that email goes to. So you want to just make sure it's not a do not send email or do not reply email. Maybe just make sure it goes to someone. Do support. Appeal. And then the contact us email, this could be, overall. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. That reply to email is actually for that person. So Kathleen at PropFuel. So whoever that sender's name is, that's the reply to email address. The contact email address is actually who that, like overall, if you have a membership ad or something like that you want to put in. And then you can put in a phone number. I have enough numbers there. And then this rejoin link, this is where, again, it's going to be auto-populated in there, but you want to get them as close as possible to where they can rejoin. So wherever that closest spot to rejoin is, you want to put that in this line. But you just want to make sure that you put the https:// or else it won't populate. You guys with me? Okay. And once you have everything completed there, just click run. So now what it's going to do is it's pulling, AI is working in the background here. It's pulling information from your website, from your organization, and building this campaign based on that. So when there's, information about your benefits, whatever's kind of on your website, it's pulling in information from there. So this is working pretty quickly, so that's good. Sometimes when there's a lot of people. All right. So this is nothing to be alarmed at. We just want to bring it to your attention. Again, this is AI generated content. So you really want to be careful just to not just send it right after this. You want to go in and make sure that it sounds like a human and not a robot put together all this information. You can close that. And then this will look similar to what we just looked at a few minutes ago. So this again is our design page. This is where the check-in lives. where we're going to do most of the editing for this. So if you can, go ahead and click on, let's go through the first part, the question. So if you click on that little pencil button next to the change, are you interested in rejoining? Yes, possibly not at this time. You know, if you want to change the wording up, or would you like to rejoin now? Anything like that, or just keep it as is if it fits too. I'll give you a second just to look it over and see if you want to make any changes.
Hey yo, how you guys doing?
Hey, doing well.
Perfect.
Thanks for checking, Robson.
Yeah, of course. I know you've got a lot on your plate with this large group.
I
It's
don't
too
know
many
if I
of
can
us.
handle it.
Is this how
So
things work?
yeah. So if those are good, you want to just click Save Question. And then the next part we go into is the action workflows. So based on how they answer, we want to have a separate workflow for each one of those answers. So if they say yes, we have that workflow, no, and possibly. You guys with me? Okay. So what I'd like to do here is we'll go through each one of these different options and update it as we're talking through. Once you are set with how this is, you know, the text is right, everything is working, we need to toggle this on. Like as you saw in the beginning, if you don't have it toggled on, it's just going to be a black page. I'd like to toggle this on once you know that workflow is done. That way, kind of when you're looking at it, you're like, I don't have to go back into that. It's good to go. I'm going to turn that off for right now. But click on Show Text on a Landing Page, and this is where you can start looking in of what AI pulled in. Again, some of it may not apply, or it may need it to be adjusted in terms of the wording or the tone. But another cool thing here is, so I mentioned that little magic wand. So if you see in the top, this little magic wand at the end, if you click on that, it's going to redo this information into a different format. This made it much smaller. You're probably going to want to have more information, but again, it's just to kind of jog your memory and get you some.
I must have missed something because I'm still in the questions.
Okay, no problem.
It
So
took a
you're on
while to
this.
generate.
That's okay. You're on this. You're on this right here.
Hang on, let me see.
Sorry, Naya, I thought you were with us.
My questions took a while to load.
Okay, no
Yes,
worries.
I'm there. I'm there.
Okay. So, like just mentioning, so there are 3 parts to each check-in. We have the question, which is, are you interested in rejoining? We have the workflows, which is, this is the action that's going to happen once someone says yes, when someone says possibly, or when someone says not at this time. And each one of these answers has its own workflow. And then we have the templates here. So we went through and clicked on that little pencil button next to the blue change button.
Okay.
And if you look at, are you interested in rejoining? That's the question they're going to see. And then these 3 answer options. You can leave it as is, or you can adjust it slightly, like, yes, I'd like to rejoin now, or just change it slightly. But I would keep this information because these blueprints are based on best practices from all of our clients. So I would, it's close to possible to keep those.
Got it.
Okay, so if those questions are good, then we click on this little right arrow with the 3. And then each one of these workflows has each one of these answers has a different workflow. So we just went on to this first one, this selection yes, show text on a landing page. So this is all that information that the person's going to see once they select yes. So I'll give you a few minutes just to kind of read through and make some updates. I'm curious, how is the AI match to what's actually for your organization? Is it pretty close, or is it way off, or?
I feel like so far so good. I would probably
Yeah.
go in and make changes to like tone mostly.
Yeah.
Same here.
Okay. Do you guys want to make the changes now? Do either of you plan on sending this out by the end, or you're going to work on this and go through? Okay.
Oh, I probably need to work on this.
Probably, yeah.
I have another meeting later, so
okay. No worries. So this is again, okay. So go in here and make those actions. Once you're done making those edits, just make sure to click save action, or it's not going to save anything. And then you go into this email, and if you need to, this is pretty simple. It's just sending that information to them with the link to reinstate. And then again, there's another little magic wands here if you want to update it just to see where it's at. And then save action. And then say I'm done with this, I'm going to click on that green arrow button and go down to the next workflow. So we have possibly, so that show text on a landing page, like we saw, it's very similar to the people who say yes. So once you make those yes changes, I would probably close out of this, copy those, and then just drop it right in here too, just to save yourself some time. And then if you want to update this, like we understand how important it is, if you want to update any of that as well. Then we'll save the action and say, and then this is where we're going to add a tag maybe to rejoining follow up in a few weeks. So this is where we can pull them into another campaign. We can run a list and pull those people. So it makes it really easy to connect with those who are still on the fence. And then we have no and not at this time. So this is our main email, our main check-in. This is going to a web external question. So if you click at the end of that redirect another question, that little box with the arrow, click on that for me. And then this is bringing them. So when they say, no, I don't want to rejoin, this is where their opportunity is to tell you why and why it's not a good fit. And similar to that email one that we just saw, to the right of that change button, edit question. Take a look at these and just take a minute and see if these kind of fit. Again, these are some of the most common questions we see across our clients, but some of them may not fit. Some of them may need a little adjustment. So I'll give you a second just to take a look at that. And then we have a follow-up question here because there's an answer option, something else. So we want to give them an opportunity to say what that something else is. So that's where we say, tell us more. I'll save this question here. And then again, similar to the other ones, each one of these answer options has it. Oh, were you coughing, Natha? Naya?
That's me, sorry, yeah.
No worries, no worries. Again, so each one of these answer options has its own workflow. So again, you can see down here, there's all these different options for each one of those answer options up here. There's a different one in here that I wanted to just point out. So it says question answered matches text response filled, send an alert. So basically what this is, it's saying that if with this tell us more question over here, if they fill something in, if that text response is filled, it's going to send an alert to someone in your organization. So you can just type someone's name in and hit enter, or you can just pull in someone from your organization. And then basically what's going to happen, you're going to get this in this email with the member's information, the member's email, and then this, you can put whatever you want in here, but monitor and reply if there's something we can help them do. So depending on how they answer, and regardless of how they answer, it's good to follow up with them too. And there's options in here to do that as well. And then I kind of just wanted to go through just to show you the other different kinds of actions that people can do here. So we have, with each workflow, you can add people to a campaign, you can remove them from a campaign, you can update a contact field, you can add a tag or remove a tag. The send alert here is in big red, this is the one that we have for this text response field. It's going to send an email to someone in your organization or a volunteer, whoever it needs to go to. The redirect to another question, that's what got us right here. So it redirected us to this question to ask why they're not going to be rejoining. We can redirect people to URL. If there's instances where you want to take them right to the join page, that's an option as well. One of the most common ones we use, as you can see, is the show text on a landing page. So that, again, is just bringing them to a web page that has that information for them to just for more information based on how they answer. You can also create a conversation in prop field. We have an inbox over here. You can assign different things to different people. If they answer this way, you might want someone in membership to answer, things like that. And then you can also send emails. So this is where these send emails to say my employer won't pay for it. It's going to send them an email with more information. So lots of different options. But I wanted to go through each one of these just so you can see in here. So this first one, I wasn't seeing value in previously. again, similar to some of this stuff, you might be able to copy and paste some of this into these questions as well, just in terms of the benefits that you have. But again, it's another touch point to let them know, just in case they weren't seeing value, maybe they didn't know about all of this information here. So you want to remind them of that. And then we have, again, this is going to send them the information, and they are including in here too of all those member benefits again, in case they're not aware. And same thing up here, you can change all this information for each one to something else. Thanks for letting us know. Again, like you're seeing a theme here that you can copy and paste a lot of this stuff once you have it set, and just kind of adjusting it in terms of how they answer. Again, we talked about the text response field. I don't have time to commit to membership. We understand there's more to do and more to do than you have for time in the day. Don't forget you can take advantage of these benefits around your schedule. A lot of those things like online education, things like that, if you have that available. And then I've left the field. Not much you can do with someone who left the field. So it's a, thank you. We hope you consider us if you ever return. So I didn't see the retiring one. Oh, the retiring one. Yeah. Congratulations on your well-earned retirement. Again, this is something if your organization has something that is tailored to retired membees, maybe you can bring them back on board and have them part of the organization. And then again, once you're done with all these things, you want to just make sure you toggle each one of these on. And then once you're done with all of that information, you're going to go back again. The third piece of the check-in is the templates. And this one is just the check-in page. So these are really simple. So there's not much you need to do on here. The main one, the real important one is the go back to the original one where that email template was. What kind of questions do you guys have? Does it seem pretty intuitive? And I know there's a lot of different places for things. I do like to kind of think of it in 3 parts so that you have to go through each part in order to finalize everything.
All of that makes sense. It all makes sense for that, but like I guess where would you like go into build the actual like campaign that you're sending with like the yes, maybe, no included in that?
So this is where that yes, maybe, no is. So this is the campaign that you're building that we saw in the very beginning.
But like, where's the rest of it? Like the rest of the email?
Oh, so let's go back to that email. So this was the email you see. So it's your membership has lapsed. We understand. Are you interested in rejoining? And then each one of these answers. That's what we're seeing right here. So it's this template here. So your membership has lapsed. We understand if you've been busy. And this sample text right here where it says this is sample text, your question will display here. This is a dynamic field, so you don't want to remove this. This is where the question's automatically going to be pulled into. And then this button style is just the different options that you have available.
I see now.
That makes sense? Okay, good.
Yeah.
And then the workflows again, going through and making sure all those are good to go. Let me see. So just on our little list here we have, so we logged in, we've navigated, create campaign, we created the blueprint. And it's good sometimes to have a little checklist. We have this online. I can actually send you this link if you want, so you can have that available for you. Oops, I sent it to everyone, but you should have that there. Click renewal and choose lapse. We did that. We fill in the available fields. We clicked run, deciding which questions to keep. Some of our campaigns, some of our blueprints have many different check-ins in them. Like say if a new member onboarding campaign has 12 different of those check-ins in there to keep up with people as they're coming on board. Same with, renewal has 6 or so, lapse campaigns, things like that. This is kind of a shorter version of our lapse campaign. So it's something you guys can just get out to your organization. We went through and we reviewed the different question actions, reviewed the different templates. Now let's go ahead and send ourselves a test to that email. And how you do that is you go back into this little gear icon. and click on send test email. But before you do that, I would go back in, and just for now, you can always go back and change them. Just so you can see the flow on your end, go ahead and click on all those to turn those workflows on. So just click on that right arrow and click on each one of those. And then after that, you'll want to click on that last question, the not at this time, the redirect. Click that little box with the arrow. And then you'll want to go into here and turn all these on as well, just for testing. And again, you can go back and do this since neither of you will be sending it out. You guys good there?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you go back to the original, the main campaign, are you interested in rejoining? This is where you can send the test. So you can click on that little gear icon and send a test email. And you can send it to yourself. If you need to send it to more people, just do a comma and add their information as well. But I'm going to go ahead and send test email. And then go into your email and check it out and see, let me know if you have any questions, or go through and if you can click on all the different options and just test them out to see how the flow goes.
Will it always say it came from whatever via prop fuel?
No, once you have your domain connected and
Okay.
authorized, it'll have that there. And I can show you how to go about doing that if you wanted to do that. Which program do you guys use? Do you use like GoDaddy or
Pedestra,
okay,
but I don't need to do
for the
it
test?
now.
Okay. Naya, how's it looking for you? You going through
Working
it?
on it.
Yeah, good, good.
I'm behind the 8 ball here.
No. Take as much time as you need. You can just kind of start to see the flow of things. It's
Yeah.
again the backbone of Prop Fuel is to really make it a more personalized experience for people as they're as they're answering, you're providing value for them. What are your typical campaigns have been for lapsed members or people who have gone for a while?
Basically just emails. We miss you kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Well, and at least in my organization, we're a nonprofit organization, and whenever we have attempted to ask, why are you not looking to renew or whatever, we get very few responses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the ones that do are just pretty angst, cost basically, or
Yeah.
some dredging some old thing from 20 years ago that they're still upset about. We're
Exactly.
over 100 years old,
Oh,
so
wow.
people have long memories.
What organization are you each with?
Me?
Mhm.
Yeah, the American Orchid Society. So, you think it's just a flower club, but it's not. Then I'll deny it if you say I said this. Oh God, I'm
Recording,
being
but I won't say
recorded.
anything.
Yeah, edit that recording. But people get very passionate about things, and
Yeah.
there a lot of times they're not willing to respond to like an exit survey or just a basic question. Why?
Exactly.
What
Yeah.
can we do? So
Hmm.
I don't know how you can mold that differently.
Yeah. And Taylor, what kind of organization are you with?
Mining tunneling
Mining.
minerals.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Nice. We've got flowers and minerals. I like it. But no, I used to work before I came to Prop Fuel earlier this year. I worked in associations for about 10 years and nonprofit associations. So I understand where you guys are, coming from and trying to get, especially after conferences or just satisfaction surveys, trying to get people to answer, throwing a
Yeah.
survey monkey out there or something. You just don't get responses. That's why there's so much beauty in this Prop Fuel platform because it's just so simple. It's everyone with social media and everything nowadays, our time, like our attention span is just so small. So getting an email like this where all you have to do is like, oh yeah, I'm interested in rejoining or no.
Yeah.
It's so quick and so easy for them. So it makes it a lot easier. And like Dave had showed some of those emails with, you're just bombarded
Yeah.
with information. It's impossible. You get overloaded and you close it down. So it's keeping it simple. And with these emails too, I know we went into the template, but they're really extremely customizable. You can make the background a different color. You can make the buttons different colors, shorten it, totally different things. You can add different pieces. So it's, again, depending on how you want to send something out. But for this campaign, the nice clean look is usually the best.
And then can you, um, like if you have a campaign and then you edit it to be like the way you want, then can you like save that and then
Yep.
go back and use it again later?
Yep.
And then
So
edit
what
that?
exactly. So you can either in settings, let me go in here, templates, you can either create a new template or when you're in the campaign, if you're, let's see, what was the first one? If you're in the campaign and you're going in templates and you're customizing this and you have it exactly where you want to be, you just save that. And then these three little buttons after that, you can save a copy to my templates. And then that way, anytime you go into that third part of the check-in, you can edit or change the template. So if this template comes in automatically, you just go into change template and pull in that new one.
Okay.
And again, that's why it's good to have some that are, if they're specifically using some branding for education, some for membership, and some for, exhibits, conventions, anything like that. Makes it a lot easier, especially if you take the time to move everything around and change colors and do everything you need to do.
Yeah.
So how did that test email go through?
Good.
Yeah, okay. Naya, all
Gonna
good for
say
you?
this, yeah, no, it's good. I was
Yeah.
just looking again at the AI generated things from the website. It's scary good.
Scary good.
Yes.
I
Yes.
know.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And it's pulling information from kind of everywhere there. So it's the different prompts we put in there, just it puts it all together. It's pretty neat. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to get this information together with as little work as possible as you need to and automate as much as you can. Because again, I know I was a one-man department for years and it's just impossible to do everything. So as much as you can
Yeah.
automate these communications, making them as human as possible, it's pretty great. I wish I had Profio when I was there. And
Yeah,
it's like
there's just too
tailoring that
many
information.
people that there's no way I can take the time to go through and
It's impossible.
yeah,
Yeah. To call several thousand people to ask them if they want to rejoin, it's not
yeah,
possible. So and the tailoring. So when I was in another organization, we had lots of different types of practitioners. So it would have been so great to tailor the message to the acupuncturists and then to the
yeah,
physicians and then to the nurses because they're all slightly different messages. So
yeah.
when they get them, they feel really connected to it and easy to reply. I'm going to go ahead and check our send a test email off there. Um, and then next part is to get the campaign live. Obviously, we're not going to go live here, but did you guys create a CSV file with any kind of information? So let's go ahead and just practice pulling that in.
I didn't because
Okay. No worries, no worries. What I did is just made one with just my information on it so I could pull it in just for a test. So we'll go through it here, Naya, but
Okay.
Taylor, why don't you go through and just test it and pull those people in, but you can also we don't have to you don't have to actually send this. You can always start from scratch too if you need to, if the list isn't right.
Does it matter if I like have all those things checked on right now?
No, because
Okay.
the date is where it's at. But we just won't, just click on this little change date right here and push it out pretty far. Like push it
Okay.
into the end of August, and nothing's going to send until that date. That's just kind of a generated one, once you build a campaign. And if you don't want to enroll them just quite yet, you can watch me do it as well. Again, since you're not going to be doing that.
Could I always
But
just like delete it later?
yeah, basically, if you want to bring them in and then go to settings here, click on settings, and then you can remove all contacts.
Okay.
But to enroll a new person here, so you go into enrolled contacts. If you become a client and you have your AMS connected or your marketing system connected, we can pull lists from there, or we can create lists from there. But since you guys are going to just be uploading right now, you go into enrolled contacts and then click on upload contacts and select a file. I just made a quick one right here with just my information. So these are the different fields that we have in Prop Fuel. And then we need to map them to that spreadsheet that you uploaded. And real quick before I go into here, I'm going to go back into settings to show you where these fields live, so that if you want to add any personalization fields, you can. So if you click on settings and then go into advanced and then go into fields, this is where when you bring in lists, these are the fields that we can map to on those lists. So I actually added, because it wasn't here, I added first name. So if you want to go into the template and say, do your first name, bring in a personalization code, you can do that, and you want to add it here so that when you bring in that list, we can map it to that field. So if you have something else and want to create a field, that's how you do it here.
You can add as many as you want.
Yeah, there's no limit. So then when we're back into the campaign, back into enrolled contacts, and then upload contacts, I'm going to select that file again. And then we have first name here. So first name is one of those fields that I created. So when you see the drop down here, we have system fields and then we have custom fields. Since I created that first name, I want to skip this system field because I'm going to be pulling in the first name that I created. But for last name, you can pull in, that's a system field. Email is a system field. It's usually just that personalization one that you want to pull in from the custom fields. And then what you can do is review import. And then this is saying this is the one I'm assigning to this campaign. You can either add or remove contacts from this campaign based on this spreadsheet. And then you can, this is how it's mapping here. So you don't have to worry about this isn't being filled. I didn't have full name on my spreadsheet, but I did have first name and I did have email. So I'm going to go ahead and import contacts here.
You can do it manually too if you only have a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
you can go into contacts and you can create a contact.
Okay.
And then like that's on the left-hand side here, contacts. And then you can click view for this person. And this is all the information for this person. So you can see the history of what campaigns I was in, how I responded, different check-ins, any scheduled. You can see over here campaigns that I was in, different tags that I had. And then once you're connected to your AMS or your email system, there's going to be a code to base that for any write backs for that information. And then if we go back into that campaign, when you go back into enrolled contacts, you can see that that I was added here, and you'll see that's where all your contacts will be added, and it'll have a tally at the bottom, so you can make sure it matches who you brought in. So it's the name and then enrolled. So this pending will turn to active once I turn the campaign live. So don't worry about the pending right away. It's just showing I'm active. Now, as you guys are running campaigns, if people unsubscribe, because in every email there's an unsubscribe portion, and by law you need to have something. If they unsubscribe, it's going to say unsubscribed here. So just if you pull people in, but that's as you go on. And then you have different filters here as you can look through. So you can look at all the actives at once. You can look at the people who are removed. You can suppress people, different kinds of options there. And then you can also export the records if you need to. So, all right. So once you have that listing, everybody in there, you want to go into your settings. And this is kind of the overall global settings for the campaign. So you have your name here, it's an email, it's outbound, it's a scheduled one. We have different types of campaigns, but the scheduled ones are obviously scheduled for a specific date. Sequence campaigns, if you have rolling renewals, you'd want to bring people in on a sequence. So the actions would be a little bit different in terms of, you know, you're bringing them into the campaign 4 days after they hit this trigger. So you can add notes to the campaign if you have multiple people working on a campaign and want to add any internal notes here. The sending window here. So this is where that sending window comes in. When do you guys typically send out emails?
Early morning.
Early morning. Okay. These
Yeah,
are the different
around 10-ish.
around 10. Okay. These are the options we have here. So we have overnight, we have early morning, all Eastern time, start a work day. So whatever fits into that area, that's when it'll automatically send. But these can also be changed at the campaign level too. And then reminders. So reminders are set, we can set them here globally, but we can also set them at the campaign. This is basically if you send out a check-in and someone doesn't answer, this is how long this reminder will send them another reminder on the delay you have it set. So if you have 2 days, if we send it out today, 2 days from now, if they didn't answer or take any action in the campaign, they're going to get the same email again. You can also turn these off if you don't want them. So if you have a scheduled one that's going out in very specific times, you may not want to have any reminders in between.
For the reminders, it sends the exact same email again.
So if they don't, it's only for people who didn't take any action. So if they answered the question, they're not going to get that reminder email.
What about people who opened it but didn't answer it?
If they didn't click on anything and take action,
Okay.
they'll get it again. But you can see in here, if we go back to the design tab and go into here, we can also change the reminders specifically here. So if your global settings are 2 days, but you're like, I want this to go out a week after, you can either inherit from the campaign or click yes and change it to something else. So you'll have really the campaign settings for everything are really important that you can update for each time if you need to. Any questions with that?
No, it's pretty thorough.
Okay. Now, so once you have the settings set, you have all your workflows done, you have enrolled contacts, the last thing is to set it live. So the way to do that, I'll show you. So if you click here and go live, I must have turned them on, but so when you, before you set the main campaign live, this main email, all those branch questions that we had, so this one over here, when they answered no, we went to this branch question. These all need to be turned on first before you can actually send out the live campaign. And I don't know why it should give you that a little reminder like, hey, all the campaigns aren't on yet. So you would just kind of work yourself backwards, go live, and then go back to the main campaign, go live. And then this is ready to go and send out on August 28th. And up until August 28th, if you decide, oh, I want different information in these different things, you can go ahead and do that. That's no problem. And again, it's not going to send till that time. So you can go ahead and make any updates that you need. And same thing, if you had additional check-ins, say you had one on August 28th and you had another September 5th down here, you could change that. You can make any changes to those as well. And then because this is a scheduled campaign, one that's sent out on a specific day and it's not ongoing as people are enrolled. Once this goes out, say August 28th comes and goes, you come into the design tab, nothing's here. That's normal. Everything is going to move to the history tab once that scheduled campaign goes out. So this is where you'll get to see how many emails were sent. This email sent here is if you had multiple check-ins in one campaign, this would include any prompt emails. It would also include any reminder emails, but this would be the check-in sent here. And then the response rate would be the overall response rate for the entire campaign. the contacts, this is the people who have received at least one question. And then this engagement, we actually just updated this and it's pretty cool. So of those contacts who received that question, this is the percentage that actually answered a question. So this becomes really useful for, any of your stakeholders to see what really the engagement is. Like, it's not just people who clicked on it, it's the people who actually engaged in the campaign. So that's a great new option we have here. You'll also be able to go in and see for each check-in the delivery metrics. So if you click on those, you'll be able to see how many were delivered, how many were opened, different bounces. And the cool thing in here, if your bounces for some reason, you want to check them out, you can actually download those so that you can actually see if it's a hard bounce or soft bounce, if you need to maybe follow up with people to get their correct information so that they don't bounce anymore. And then we have the question, are you interested in rejoining? So this is where, again, once you have some responses, if you click on that responses page, you're going to have a nice little graph over here of information of who chose what answer option. You'll have information down here where you can actually let me show you one so you can, it's a little hard to think of without. Let's see. It has one in there. All right, so see in here if there's any history in here. So this is a little bit better, so you can see different actual graphs that come in. And then that view responses, if you click on there, this is where you can see 33% of the campaign answered. This is the number, obviously this is small, these are test campaigns, but 3 answered, that was a 75% response rate. And then down here is you're going to be able to see everybody who actually responded, and you can actually reply right in here. So if you had someone, especially for open-ended questions that people respond, you can go right in here and just reply right here, and everything will be stored in your inbox here, which is kind of nice. And then everybody can anyone who's a user in your account can see all that information in case, someone else needs to respond, things like that. You can also filter all the information. So if you want to just see everybody who said yes, you can click on selection equals yes. And then you can see only one person answered yes. So a lot of filtering to get the information tailored to exactly what you need. And then at the end, if you want, you can export all this or as a CSV file or a PDF to give to your stakeholders to show how the campaign is doing. Any questions on that? I know that's a lot of information there and hard to kind of see without having the full campaign in there, but.
No, not right now. I see your recording. Will we share this recording? Will you share this
Absolutely.
recording with us? Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Because I might need to, I report to a board, so I can make
Absolutely.
a recommendation, but they probably want to see what's going on before they take action.
Absolutely. And our sales team, if you have any contact questions after the fact, Lisa McNeil, she'll be kind of the main point of contact. Her email's easy. It's just lisa@propfuel.com. So if you have any follow-up questions, you can follow up directly with her as well. And I have her email over here as well, so you can see. And so we set the campaign live. So that's kind of in a nutshell. Does that kind of give you a good overview of how the campaign works, how your members see it, and how it all kind of flows together?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's helpful too as you go through. Please feel free to play around in here and create campaigns and just check them out. And just to play around in the system, but you can see the different kinds of campaigns. And again, if no one's enrolled, no one's going to be sent anything. So great. So yeah, if you guys don't have any questions, like I said, if something comes up and something jogs your memory later that you have a question about, feel free to email Lisa. She'll get in touch with, get back to you right away or get in touch with us, things like that. So, but I appreciate you guys taking the time. I know it's a large chunk of time during the day, so I appreciate you being here and kind of going through this with me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll have another
really
meeting at
good.
2:30.
No problem. Well, we're
how
finished
it
up just
is.
in time.
So yeah, I'll take a look again. I look forward to the recording so I can, share with the board. We have a meeting in a week and a half.
Okay, perfect. Well, Taylor and I, it was really nice meeting you guys and hope you come on board. And again, if you have any questions, just reach out to Lisa.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. Have a
Bye,
great day.
Taylor. Bye.
Bye.